Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. Today, we're digging into Gary Vaynerchuk's powerful take on how to win in the age of AI. And just so you know, he kicks things off with a pretty serious warning.
Wow, okay, that's a heavy way to start. Gary isn't just saying a few jobs are going to be replaced here and there. He's saying the entire economic ground is shifting right under our feet.
And that, of course, raises this huge question that's probably on your mind too. With AI speeding everything up, are the doors to opportunity actually closing for good?
Well, Gary's answer isn't a simple yes or no. He doesn't see an end to opportunity, not at all. But he does see a massive economic shift. And to explain it, he uses this idea he calls the economic barbell. So, picture a barbell. On one end, you've got the tech titans, your Metas, your Googles, the biggest of the big. And they're just getting bigger, swallowing up markets. But then on the other end, something new is popping up, hyper-micro-wealth. Think of a huge, long tail of tiny, monetizable apps and individual creators.
So you've got the giants on one side and all this new micro-wealth on the other, which means the traditional middle gets squeezed. This new kind of wealth is all about speed and finding your niche, not about building some massive company. But that brings up a good question. What happens if those big companies just win everything? Well, Gary's take on that is pretty wild and honestly a little counterintuitive.
He kind of paints this picture where extreme capitalism might, paradoxically, lead to a sort of subsidized society. It's a fascinating thought for sure, but let's bring it back to right now. Assuming that opportunity does still exist for you and me, what's the actual playbook? What do we do?
So how do you win now? Gary lays out a really clear 3-step playbook for literally anyone with a laptop and access to some AI tools.
Okay, step 1. Build a simple, low-cost app that solves one specific problem. Step 2, use AI to just flood the zone with content to get attention. And step 3, and this is the most important one, focus relentlessly on brand. Gary's point is that when AI makes creating content basically free, your brand, your voice, your reputation, what you stand for, that's the only thing that will make you stand out from the noise. But this leads to that fear everyone has. What if a big company just automates my idea and I'm out of business?
And this quote right here, this gets the absolute heart of his message for entrepreneurs. It's not about the one thing you build. It's about what you learn while you're building it. The process itself is the prize. And that way of thinking, that's a fundamental shift away from tactics and towards something way, way deeper, your mindset.
Because beyond any tool or any strategy, Gary really believes your internal mindset is the ultimate, unbeatable advantage in this new world.
I mean, that's huge, right? It's all about separating your self-worth from your results. He argues that all the anxiety so many of us feel comes from tying who we are as a person to whether our company succeeds or fails.
The goal is to wrap your self-worth in who you are, how you treat people, your character, not in the business's metrics. If you can actually do that, then losing just becomes feedback. It's data. It's not a judgment on you. And a massive part of playing that internal game is getting a handle on your ego.
Gary's take is that this ego, this burning need for other people to say you're doing a good job, it's really just insecurity talking. It's the fear that you're not good enough unless your project works. And he has this great analogy to explain how to get past it. You have to shift from being a mason to being an architect. Think about it. Masons do the tasks that can be automated, the stuff that will be automated. They follow the instructions. Architects, on the other hand, are the ones who strategize, who design, who use AI as a tool to build something totally new. The real challenge for so many of us is making that mental leap to actually believe you can be the architect. And that means using your free time to learn and surrounding yourself with the right kind of information.
All right, so to round all this out, let's just blast through Gary's quick takes on some key questions people have about the next few years.
What's really interesting here is how all of these answers point back to the same core idea. College? Yeah, but only if it's a practical tool, not just the default thing you do. The biggest misunderstanding about AI? That it's either going to save the world or destroy it. He's saying, look, the truth is in the middle. The one industry to avoid? He says none, because for him, it's never about the industry, it's about whether you're willing to be the architect, not just the mason.
So what's the final takeaway? Gary's betting on history. Every time, new technology has created more than it's destroyed. He basically argues that being a practical optimist is the only logical choice. Because think about it, if he's right, you win. And if he's wrong, well, we're all in trouble anyway, so you might as well have been an optimist on the way down.
And that really leaves us with one final question to chew on. As skills become easier to learn and even automate with AI,
Does your internal mindset, your resilience, your optimism, your relationship with failure, does that become the single most important asset you have? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to AI in 8 minutes and never miss what matters.